The effects of common stimulants, fines, and penalties, and stimulants and driving. Part 3. Methamphetamine. Methamphetamine, sometimes referred to as speed, ice, crank, meth, and crystal meth, is a potent and addictive stimulant with effects akin to those of cocaine. Methamphetamine, however, has a tendency to act more quickly and remain longer than cocaine because the body is less able to remove it from the bloodstream. As a result, the central nervous system is also more adversely affected. According to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, NSTU, 1.6 million Americans, or about 0.6% of the total population, took methamphetamine in the previous year. The federal government estimates that methamphetamine was to blame for over 10,000 overdose deaths that occurred across the country in that same year. The drug's misuse is becoming more common because it is typically less expensive and easier to obtain than opiate narcotics. How is methylphenidate administered? Methamphetamine can be smoked, snorted, consumed orally, injected, or used in other ways. The medication works most swiftly when smoked or injected because it enters the bloodstream in big amounts very quickly. The same rationale makes it seem like these administration techniques lead to addiction the most frequently. Methamphetamine used orally and through snorting has more gradual effects and is considered less risky, but because the user has not yet experienced the full consequences of intoxication, they could accidentally overdose by taking more of the substance. Methamphetamine impacts. Methamphetamine produces euphoria, increased energy, intense alertness, and a decrease in hunger in the short term. Additionally, it has a number of risky cardiovascular side effects, such as an accelerated heartbeat, elevated blood pressure, and irregular heartbeat. A person who consumes too much of something may have dangerously high body temperatures, seizures, and perhaps pass away. Methamphetamine use over an extended period of time nearly always leads to physical dependence and a host of additional potentially fatal consequences, such as 1. Disturbances in mood. 2. Anxiety and suspicion. 3. Hallucinations of the eyes and ears. 4. Unpredictable, violent behavior. 5. Psychosis. Abusing methamphetamine can permanently harm the brain, according to research. Long-term use of this drug can actually transform you into a different, all-around more volatile and compulsive, person by changing the structure of the regions of the brain responsible for emotions, learning, decision-making, and behavioral control. The impact of methamphetamine on your driving ability. Even in extremely modest doses, the immediate symptoms of methamphetamine usage would make it impossible to drive safely. You won't be able to concentrate on the work at hand or accurately gather information about the roads due to the drug's potent stimulant effect. Additionally, you might have trouble staying still, have tremors in your muscles, and have poor motor skills, which will make it more difficult for you to steer smoothly, stop gradually, and maintain your position inside a lane. Methamphetamine addicts are extremely dangerous drivers. Brain chemistry changes brought on by the medication will cause erratic moods, anxiety, and paranoia. This could make you drive aggressively toward other drivers, at excessive speeds, and without consideration for traffic signs when you're behind the wheel. Penalties for methamphetamine possession. The penalties for simple possession of methamphetamine are much less severe than those for manufacturing the drug or possessing it with the intent to distribute, as is the case with the majority of Schedule I substances. Depending on how much of the narcotic you are found to be in possession of, you may be charged with simple possession or possession with intent to sell. Keep in mind that a possession charge does not necessarily require the substance to be on you or in your vehicle. Simply having grounds to suspect that you own the narcotics or are in charge of them is sufficient for law enforcement. Even though methamphetamine possession carries less severe consequences, you're still very likely to face a jail sentence. Methamphetamine possession is typically considered a felony depending on the state where the charge was committed and the specifics of the offense.